Hey, welcome back to the show. Today is April 25th, 2017. Sorry for the delay on the news. I've been working on some other projects for a little bit, so I hope to be back on schedule with the news. And there's been a lot happening lately. I've done a list of what I thought was the most important things in the last, 2 to 3 weeks to compensate for the no news. I have an old news show that I did that I will edit and post, even though it's maybe older news, just in case you guys miss something that you think is interesting. In other news, I got a new tie, so that's new. And I just learned how to do my knot once again. So now to the real news. We've gotten the Fuji Instax Q10 released, at least the official statement about it. It's a non-instant camera, and by that what I mean is you don't take a picture and it straight up comes out, but it mostly just you shoot on a little like digital sensor, like a cell phone sensor. Then you can edit, you can choose if you like it or not, erase it, and then you print it. But it doesn't print from the picture you took at the moment, but from that digital file kind of projects inside and prints. So it's kind of a camera, digital camera, and a Polaroid or Instax printer, like the SP line. So it's kind of hybrid shooting. I'll probably make a video about the whole camera system because I think it's kind of not really an analog, but it kind of is. And I want to discuss that further in a separate video. The design is kind of risky, I think, with the double buttons, the LCD screen on the back. There's no viewfinder. It has like a ring flash kind of thing there. And the price is going to be around $280 in the US, which probably means another 100 more for the European market. The Instax film that will come with it is square and will be $17 in the US for a pack of 10. In the crowdfunding news this week, we find the SolarCan, which is like a Monster or soda can that will have a piece of 5x7 paper and a pinhole on the front. That way you can expose for multiple days, even months, maybe a year or more, and have that solar, picture come in your paper. Because as the sun goes by and exposes the paper and it keeps on going by, it will expose inside that can. It has a Kickstarter that's already being fulfilled, but it's still open till like May 18th. So you guys can go in there and help if you want to have one of those cans. You can actually make it yourself if you're into doing do-it-yourself kind of photography. But if you feel like, supporting someone with a funny idea, I do think it's pretty cool. The can has like all the settings, the f-stops, and all those little things. Like it was an actual can of soda, but it's a solar can for photography. So yeah, I'll leave that below with a link if you guys want to support it or just check it out because I think it's worth at least having a look. In other crowdfunding news, Ferrania, which came out with the P30, and there's no more news over there. I actually purchased some, but there hasn't been any information coming from them. I'm guessing they're busy building their emulsion and packaging and cutting and slicing. Haven't been charged, so I'm guessing it'll come soon. There's a podcast interview of Dave Bias. Dave Bias is the, spokesman in the US for Ferrania. So if you guys didn't see, there's a Ted Forbes interview with him done a month ago. And this is a podcast chit chat about Ferrania's story and all that. I think it's important to understand the story behind Ferrania and where they are, where they've gone through, and where they want to be. So yeah, I'll leave that below. It's a podcast. I haven't had the time to listen to it, but I will soon. And I'll probably enjoy it a lot like you guys would. In other crowdfunding too, we have the Ars Imago Lab Box that I talked about before, and it was hugely successful. This is like a redo of the Rondinax tank, and now you can probably go over there to their website, which I'll leave the link below, and if you maybe show interest to buying it, or at least check out when it will be available to buy it. So yeah, that finished, it was successful, and the link will be below. Also, Cinestill came out with their 120 medium format film, the 800T, which is tungsten balanced. And now it's available to purchase directly from them and some major retailers. I think it's come all the way to Europe already, but I've seen it in some places in Asia. I think even Ars Imago got some and stuff like that. So yeah, you have the link below to buy it straight from them. It's the 120 version of the 800T, and there's no large format in stock. I actually talked to them at Photokina, and they told me they were kind of not sure they would release because the base of the film is thinner than the usual large format film, which is a bit thicker. And then maybe the registration for focusing on the film holder might be slightly off. So I'm guessing if they haven't put it in stock, they're still testing it out with the beta testers from their Kickstarter or Indiegogo campaign. So yeah, check it out. You guys know what Cinestill is. It's that movie stock that they refurbish or retreat to make it into a C41 film you can develop at your normal lab. Instead of removing the remjet yourself, they do it for you. Also on the Kickstarter, Intrepid Cameras, which were very successful making the 4x5, I think they're in version 3 now. They've been refining the camera a bit more as orders come in, are now releasing soon an 8x10. I'm leaving a link to their Instagram where they can show you a finished model of the 8x10, and they said they would be releasing it around May, so a few weeks we'll probably hear a bit more about them. And for a future Kickstarter, I found a company called FilmLab, and they have this thing called FilmLab app, which is a software developer for phones that shoots film, enjoys the film and analog or hybrid process, but hates scanning sitting on the computer just like I do, and has come out with a very ingenious method to scan with your cell phone. It takes like a multiple raw images of your film on top of a light box, and that it converts it immediately, and you can just scan, and it actually looks pretty decent to share at least online, which is what most people do nowadays. And if you really like a shot, you can always send it to a lab and get it properly scanned or drum scanned. So yeah, I'm leaving the link to his YouTube. His website is also www.filmlabapp, like application for your phone.com. And I think this is an interesting project we should all follow and at least show support. He has like a subscribe there. I subscribed already to keep up with news, and I'll keep you guys updated. Film manufacturer Adox also has some news about their Super 8 machinery. They produce a Super 8 film, and they were doing a different factory. And now that they're doing their bigger factory at the old ACFA facility, they have produced a bunch of Super 8 stock. But meanwhile, they change the machine and get everything up and running. They say there might be a little hiccup in their stock. So I highly recommend, if you use Adox Super 8 film, go check it out, get some stock, because this summer you might have one of those new Kodak Super 8 cameras you want to shoot on, and there might not be any of Adox film for a little bit, not that it's going away. Japan Camera Hunter, also known as Bellamy Hunt, has come out with little green boxes for their film. Just if you like green, you can go check it out. He's also has a Street Pan 400 back in stock in 35 or 135 format. And he has these adapters that are 35 to 120. They're two little plastic like buttons that go on your 35 and will adapt to a 120 camera. Do remember that if you shoot 35 on a 120, there's no rewind option. So you're going to have to go to the darkroom or changing bag to wind your film before you can load a normal roll of 120 or back to 35. This is actually an invention by someone else, and Japan Camera Hunter gives credit to him. So I'm leaving the link below for, it's a 3D print. 3D print. And it's a Thingiverse Coconar 55. And I'm also leaving the link if you want to print them yourself. I understand some people might not like the idea he's making them himself and selling them, but I think it's actual supply and demand. If people don't have access to a printer, they can buy them from him with some film or film boxes. And if not, you can print it yourself. So he gives you both options. I think that's pretty upfront from him. If you are interested, I left all the links below. Camera manufacturer and film manufacturer Lomography has come out with simple use cameras, also known as disposable cameras. But these are not just remakes of someone else's cameras. These are actually pretty fun lomography. They're loaded with their film. So you got Lomo purple, black and white, and color negative. And then the color ones, so the Lomo purple and the color negative ones, have 3 filters that you can arrange. They're like screwed to the flash, so you can either not have them and flash normal, or you can flash with purple tint or yellow tint or whatever, and black and white. I guess they didn't do any filters for that. It's I'm leaving a link below. There's a microsite. It's pretty interesting. I'm glad that they're investing on different options, not just, you know, plastic cameras, but, you know, disposables are very popular, especially in the wedding kind of photography. People leave them on the table, people shoot, they pick them up, they develop them. So yeah, if you're into lomography and you're into disposable, that's perfect match for you. Once again, Ilford has opened their window for their ultra large format and I guess weird sizes. So if you shoot one of those films that you can't find on a regular basis, this is the time to contact your store or distributor in your country and tell them that you want, you know, a box or a can or strange film that you can't find normally. So yeah, there's a list that I left below on Ilford's website where it details what people or stores will carry these pre-orders. You can buy as small as 1 box of sheet film. So if you're into shooting, you know, reared like 12 by 20 film, you can order 1 box only. You don't have to do the $13,000-ish that Kodak does to make the special orders. So yeah, it's pretty nice if you do shoot strange film, or at least sizes. This is the time of the year that you want to, you know, take advantage and buy your stock for the year. And last is something that I can't, I haven't been able to find a link for you guys. This comes from a forum that I manage, and it's that Plaubel in Germany has been fixing the Makina 670, the 6x7 or 6.7 cameras for years now. But I think their repairman has retired, and they still have some parts, but they would never supply your parts to your local repairman. They would make you send it over there, repair, and send it back to you. But now that this man has retired, they're not sure that service will be available. So if you have something you want to fix, Plaubel, you better contact them as soon as possible, so maybe you can give it one last fix to your Plaubel Makina. These cameras are pretty like tough, but they do have a problem with I think it's the cables in the light meter that peel, or the light meter. Something happens in the light meter if you don't close it properly, which you have to focus it to infinite to be able to focus it and not damage those cables. So yeah, I'll keep you updated if I have any news that they will still repair, but if not, they're saying that they will supply the parts for your local repairman. But still, I would check it out with them. The link, I guess I'll leave the link for Plaubel website, which is like web 1.0, but it still has the information and the address, probably email and phone number if you want to contact them. So yeah, that's all for this week. Thanks for watching. Remember, if you have any information you think I missed or I might be interested in sharing with you guys, send an email below. Thanks for watching. See you next week.